Welcome to Yoga 77. My name is Jackie. We are on location at the beautiful Ko Sumui in Thailand at the moment. So feel free to find a rock or a suitable place to practice today. You can choose to bring a mat in if you have a mat, otherwise just anywhere you have a little bit of space to find a comfortable seated position to begin with your legs in front. And so just begin by finding a comfortable seat. You can have a slight bend in your knees, or you might prefer to work your legs towards straight, and bring your hands by your side. And just take some little adjustments to find length through your spine, a lift through the crown of your head, and then think of an openness or a lift through your heart space, through your chest. A little tuck in of your belly, almost a light tucking down of your tailbone. Just notice that softness through your shoulders. And then just start to check in with how you've arrived for your practice today, just observing your breath. And if it's available to you, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And just notice the quality of your breath, notice the length of your breath, the depth of your breath. You might choose to close your eyes down or keep a soft gaze. Just take another 3 to 5 full breath rounds as you are. And as you feel ready, just place your left hand down beside you and reach up and out with the right arm. You might take your gaze up or straight ahead. And then on your exhale, floating the hand down, just take it to the second side. Again, let the inhale draw you up. Exhaling, finding that length through the side body, but really feel free to find a breath rhythm that works for you. Let's take another 2 to 3 rounds on each side. Just keeping it soft. You might even begin to move with the flow of the waves that you can hear behind me this evening. You might even begin to bring in an intention or a mantra into your practice. Maybe it's working with the flow around you, whether it be the waves or the wind, the breeze. Once you feel complete on both sides, just feel free to come back through center, take little adjustments, maybe just pedaling out through the legs. Beautiful. And then take your left leg across and place the foot beside you. Notice the length through the spine. Again, think of softness through the shoulders. And you might bring your hands around your shin or your knee and just encourage that length again through your spine. And we're just going to pause here. Now the option is to stay with your gaze straight ahead or bring it into a little twist. So coming in towards your straight leg, just to begin with. And just holding here for 2 to 3 breath rounds. And just come back through center and take that rotation to the second side. So think of that rotation coming from your mid-body, the mid-spine, rather than taking the movement with your shoulders. So try and keep the shoulders soft. Try to stop the shoulders from joining in and trying to take over from this beautiful twist in the mid-spine. Just come back through center. Beautiful. And then just allow your leg to come down across your left leg. Keep the right foot flexed. Again, bring the hands by your side and just creating that length again, almost drawing your right knee down towards the ground. Beautiful. And you might find a slight tilt forward here. And so again, the idea of creating length from the crown of your head down to the tailbone. Again, just pausing here for another 2 to 3 full breath rounds. Just notice that slight engagement through the belly. Notice that connection of your sit bones to your mat or to the earth. Again, that length right to the crown of your head. And come back through centre, and we will just take a little bit of free movement, legs and front, taking adjustments. We'll take that all on the second side, so bringing your left leg across. Noticing that connection of the sole of your left foot down to your mat or the ground. Beautiful. And again, we'll take the rotation towards your straightened leg. Again, just holding for 2 to 3 breath rounds here. Again, just notice that softness through your shoulders. Just noticing the quality of your breath here. Already, come back through centre and take it to the second side. Choose to bring your gaze behind. A little bit more rotation. Again, just working with softness here, no need to force it. Noticing the flow of your breath, noticing the sound of the waves. Again, come back through centre. Allowing the foot to stay across your right leg. Again, just finding that length through your spine, a little tucking in of the belly. And then if it's available to you, you may come forward here. So coming into a tilt. Again, if that's not available, just stay upright, creating the length through your spine. Again, we'll hold here for another 2 to 3 breath rounds. Back up through centre, and just bring your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider, and just allow the knees to come side to side, just taking some movement through the hips, just checking in. You might allow the knees to come down towards the ground. Choose to hold on one side and then the other. Beautiful. And then from here, come back into your tabletop position, spreading your fingers wide, and shoulders above your wrists. Legs about hip distance apart, and then just bringing that light toning through the belly, a slight lift, gaze straight down at your mat, coming into tabletop position. Just allow the belly to mount down, coming into your cow pose. Gaze might come slightly forward, and then lifting up through the spine, so coming into that beautiful arch, coming into your cat pose. Allow the gaze to come back towards your legs, and coming back through into your cow pose as you're ready to flow through your cat cow. Again, take this at your own pace. You might connect with your breath here, and again you might think of it as a wave-like motion. Very appropriate today, noticing our setting with the waves behind. And so it might be an inhale as the belly lowers, and it might be an exhale as you drone into cat. And start to picture that wave-like motion rippling up from the tailbone all the way up your spine to the crown of your head. And just let that go. Take any free movement that feels right. You might take your hips side to side. You might take your tailbone round in a circular motion, one way and then the other. Beautiful, and then bring your knees a little further apart. Big toes might be touching. And then coming into your child's pose, so you might be on your forearms or you might be more up onto your fingertips. Just allow the belly to melt down towards your mat. Again, we'll stay for another 3 to 5 full breath rounds here in child's pose. Just allow the tailbone to sink back down towards your heels. Allow the belly to be soft, and again, just tune in with your breath here. Again, if it's available to you, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. As you're ready, let your inhale draw you forward up to tabletop. Going to come into downward facing dog. We won't be holding here for long. Lifting the hips up high. Again, just encouraging some movement, just filling out through your downward facing dog. If you'd like to stay a little longer in down dog, you're very, very welcome. Otherwise, just walking feet towards hands, hands towards feet, and coming into your forward fold. So again, allow a general bend in your legs. Take some movement, pedaling out. And then just allow the belly to come down towards your thighs. You might bring opposite hands to opposite elbows. You might put some sway side to side. And you might prefer stillness here. And then as you're ready, if you're grasping elbows, just letting go and allow your body to curl up. Again, thinking of that wave-like motion. And floating arms up above your head. Might take the gaze up. Keep it straight ahead. Beautiful, and hands through the seat. Just a moment here to pause in your mountain pose, Tadasana. Just allowing the feet to be hip distance apart. And just notice those points of contact of your feet. In the center of your big toe, little toe, the center of your heel. So imagine that tripod or triangle under each foot. See if you can sense the arch under each foot. And then noticing that lift up through your center, through the heart space, through the crown of your head. Just checking in with your breath here. Notice the flow of your breath. Notice the quality of your breath. Maybe notice any changes in your body. Perhaps changes in your mind. Just how you're generally feeling. Any sensations at all. And on your next inhale, floating arms up. And just extending over to the right side. Again, on your inhale, back through center, exhale, back to the left side. Let's take another 1 or 2 to each side. Let's make this yours. Again, maybe thinking of that beautiful wave-like motion. As you feel complete, back through center. Beautiful. And then take a moment just to start to take the weight into your left foot, left leg, coming up onto the right toes. Now if you want to bring a chair in here, you're very, very welcome, or come close to a wall, kitchen bench, whatever you have handy. And so feel free, you might just stay up on your toes, and you might bring hands to heart center. Maybe you start to float the leg up. Beautiful. Now option is to stay here and just maybe play with coming in and out of this balance pose. You might have a hand on a chair or on the wall. You might find a pause and maybe you'll float arms up and overhead. So finding your balance pose, maybe staying for 2 to 3 breath rounds here. Those wobbles, finding a softness. Beautiful. And then if the arms are up, just floating them back down through heart center. Now option to start to float the leg out towards straight. You might lift a little higher, so you keep the foot flexed, and then begin to draw the leg under the body, coming into your warrior 3 pose, so pushing out through the sole of the back foot. You can keep the bend in the straight, the standing leg, or you might bring it towards straight. Option is to bring the hands down onto your thigh of the standing leg. Beautiful. You might even have a hand on a chair or both hands on a chair in front of you. So just taking your variation of your warrior 3. And as you're complete, just very slowly floating that leg all the way back, coming into your mountain pose tadasana. Just let that settle a moment, just to check in, notice any differences side to side. You might notice one side feels longer or lighter, might feel heavier, you might notice tingling, feel lighter. And just start to transfer your weight into your right foot, right leg, and then starting again, coming up onto the left toes. Again, hands might come to heart center or using a prop for balance. Again, you might float your leg up a little higher. Option is to float the arms up above your head. As you feel a little bit more balanced, you might play with bringing the eye gaze up. You might even close your eyes down. Beautiful, and then floating hands back down through heart center. Again, you might be exploring straightening the left leg. Keep the foot flexed, and then begin to draw the leg under. Keep the foot flexed, pushing out through the sole of your left foot. Again, you might keep your hands at heart center, coming into your warrior 3 pose, or you might choose to bring your hands to the standing leg, to your thigh. You might have your hands on a chair for support. Keep that light toning through the belly. Notice the strength of your body, the length through your spine. Try and keep your gaze straight down at the floor. Again, think of that length from the crown of your head. And when you're ready to transition out, see how slowly you can float that leg down. So really thinking of those transitions as being just as important as the pose. Again, coming back into your mountain pose. Just checking in, noticing any differences. Beautiful, and then bring your feet a little wider. So coming into our warrior 2 pose. Bring your left foot towards the top of your mat, and just take some movement coming in and out of your warrior 2. For once you feel aligned in your lower body, keeping an even weight into both feet. So really thinking about grounding down the back edge of the back foot, even that little pinky toe. And then if you're working on the arms, bringing the arms out, softening through your shoulders, and you might take your gaze out over your front a little bit. And again, think of this wave-like motion as you come in and out of your warrior 2 pose. Beautiful. Just take another 2 to 3 rounds at your own speed. Exhale as you settle in, and inhale as the arms float up and overhead. Beautiful, and then just pausing in your warrior 2, another 2 to 3 breath rounds. And a little reach forward, flip the front palm. Beautiful, and reaching up, coming into our peaceful warrior or our reverse warrior. You might take the gaze up, you might keep it straight ahead. Beautiful. Beautiful, coming down and across, coming into extended side angle. Option that arm is keeping it on the thigh, reaching down towards the earth with your left hand. Again, you might choose to play with taking the gaze up or keeping it straight ahead. Beautiful, coming all the way back out, coming into a wide-legged stance and just tilting from the hips. So again, think of that light tucking in of the belly and then the length from the crown of your head. As you tilt, you might bring your hands down to the ground or coming down onto a chair if you're not coming down as far today. And just take some movement coming in and out. Again, think of this wave-like motion. Just exploring that movement through your hips, through your knees, through your ankles. You might even play with lifting one heel off the ground at a time. Beautiful, and then come back through center if you're working with movement. Really ground with the soles, down with the soles of the feet and start to roll yourself all the way back up to standing. Beautiful, we'll set up for our warrior two on the second side. And so just coming in with the right foot pointing towards the top of your mat and then grounding down with the back foot. Coming in and out, just creating your alignment. So finding a position where it feels strong and steady. Beautiful, and then as you're ready, you might choose to bring your arms in as well. And again, think of this wave-like motion. Flow coming in and out, and again you might be rising up on your inhale, settling in on your exhale. Maybe your breath is the other way around. Again, just check in what does work for you. And bring the yoga practice is to find what works for you, a time for exploration. As you're ready, settle in to your warrior two. You might take your gaze out over that front hand. Just keeping the softness through the upper body. As you're ready, a little shift here. Reaching up and out into your peaceful warrior or your reverse warrior. You might take your gaze up. You might keep it straight ahead or down towards the floor. Coming down and across, taking it into your extended side angles. You might just choose to bring the arm straight up today. Option to extend your lower arm down. Beautiful, coming back up. And just toe heel your feet all the way back in. Beautiful, take some movement through your hips, just releasing. Just letting that go. Now, as you can see, I'm practicing on a rock today, so I'm not going to be coming into a full Shavasana pose. And so you can feel free to lay down on your mat or on the ground or come into a seated position. So you might choose to be cross-legged, you might choose to sit on a chair, you might prefer to come down into your Shavasana, laying down on your back. And just find a position where you can come into stillness. And start to check in, scanning through your body and allowing a softness through your body. Noticing any areas where you might still be holding on, and just be curious, maybe breathe into those areas and invite softness. Smoothing out your forehead, softening your eyebrows. You might allow your eyes to close down. You might prefer a soft gaze. Softening your cheeks, cheekbones. Notice your jaw, notice your tongue, your teeth. Notice Notice your neck, your shoulders, your elbows. Just allow the shoulders and the elbows to be drawn down with gravity, really just letting go. Softening your belly, chest. Allow your body to settle. Stay for another minute in Shavasana. If you have a little longer, feel free to pause the video so that you can stay. To invite a gentle awakening of your physical body, wriggling out your toes, your fingers. Just take any little wriggles and jiggles, maybe turn your head side to side. You might choose to take a stretch. You might reach your arms up and overhead. If you're laying down, you might roll to one side before making your way into a seated position. And just allow your hands to come back through heart center. Just take a moment to acknowledge your practice, come back to any intentions that you were working with. Just acknowledging the time and space that you've given yourself for your practice today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, rest of your evening. Go well. Namaste.